coming at you with my review of Son of the Mask. And here's the thing about this movie. Sometimes you see these lists of the worst movies ever made, and you're scanning through them, and you're like, yeah, that movie didn't look very good. I'm sure it's not very good. And you think, well, how bad could it really be? And then you watch it, and it's just as bad as they promised you, if not worse. And that's pretty much what happened with Son of the Mask. I have no earthly idea how anybody thought that this movie was going to be halfway decent with the way it was acted. Oh, just everything. It seems like literally every decision that was made going into this was the worst decision that they could make, other than some of the casting choices, which that's the thing that blows my mind. There's some fairly high quality actors in this, and I don't know what they were thinking. If maybe they were just like, oh, a sequel to The Mask, that Jim Carrey movie that did really well, and they didn't read the script, or maybe there was an earlier script that was better, or what. But I don't know how these people got suckered into being a part of this movie. But it is just so bad. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about this movie, the plot is, the title of the movie gives away a good deal of the plot. This guy is raising this kid who is the son of the Mask, which is the mask in this movie is a mask that Loki had that has some of his powers imbued in it. So when there's the son of somebody who was wearing the mask when he had impregnated somebody is born, the baby is born with some of the abilities of the Loki and the mask and all that. And so they have this kid in this movie that is just so annoying. Like, there is not a single moment of the kid character is anything but irritating. Like, smashing people. Like, it's like if there was like a ranking of 1 to 10 on the manic level, this baby is almost always at least a 9. Like, it's just so annoying, and the effect that they use for this kid, because like obviously they had to make him look like the Mask at various points, but for whatever reason, there's not a single shot of this in this entire movie where the kid looks even remotely realistic. And I don't know for sure. I haven't actually looked into it because God knows this movie is not worthy of any kind of in-depth research, but I'm assuming that there was never an actual kid on set, that it was all CG. But man, is it terrible. Then you throw in the fact that they had to bring the dog back, just like Eddie from the original one. I think his name was Eddie. Don't quote me on that. But the dog from the original Mask, they have a dog in here, and they have all these scenes of the baby and the dog reacting to each other, and I mean, it's just so ridiculously over the top and unbearable to watch. Like, this is a movie that the only reason why you'd watch this movie to the end is because you want to know if this movie truly is as bad as it was is said to be. I mean, it's a movie you suffer through, unless maybe you were like watching it as a kid and you have nostalgia goggles over it, maybe. But I can't fathom how somebody could walk away from watching this movie and be like, yeah, that movie was pretty good. And Jamie Kennedy is the person they chose to play the main character. Jamie Kennedy, I mean, there have been a few things he's done that I liked. Like, he made a documentary about being heckled that I thought was quite entertaining, and I love him in the Scream movies. But man, he is not a leading man in this movie. Like, I don't know. I've never seen Malibu's Most Wanted or his other like spoof movies that I think some people like, but this movie certainly doesn't make me want to see them, because man, is he bad in this. And like, it just as over the top as the kid, but in a different way. And he's such a sad sack, and like, just it's just so irritating. The interplay between the three characters that just drive me nuts anytime they're on screen are the dog, Jamie Kennedy's character, and the baby. I mean, the son of the Mask. So bad. And like I said before, this movie managed to rope in some actually talented actors. Like, Alan Cumming is the one that they have playing Loki, which I mean, obviously you see Loki in the MCU movies, and I've read comics about him for years, and I've always thought the character was interesting. So the idea of actually seeing like Loki in one of the Mask movies should sound pretty good. But oh man, Alan Cummings is doing the best he can with the character that's just written so horribly, and it has to, anybody who has to interact with the trio of terribleness that is the kid and the dog and the father is just, I don't know how anybody could be wrapped into that and not be terrible. And Alan Cummings, like I said, he does his best, but he does not survive this movie intact as far as like being good by any stretch of the imagination. And They hired Trailer Howard, which I don't know. A lot of people wouldn't recognize her name, but they might recognize her to see her. She was in lots of things around this time period, like the '90s, early 2000s, I believe. And I always really liked her. There was something about her that was charming. Like she was like just shy of the manic pixie dream girl kind of character, and I don't know. I always found her likable, but in this movie, she's just awful. Like there's again like all of her scenes with Jamie Kennedy. He's who she shares most of her scenes with. Like they're outdoing each other in irritation, and it's just so bad. And I cannot believe that this movie got Bob Hoskins to be Odin. And no, don't get me wrong, Bob Hoskins as Odin is a pretty interesting idea because I love Bob Hoskins. So him just showing, but man, the fact that he's in this movie and Stephen Wright, like just an all-time great comedian. Like his deadpan delivery is usually so funny, but this movie does not do anything with either of those actors. Like they have two magnificent performers, and they don't know how to do anything with them. Like Hoskins Odin, all he's doing is like it's just so bad. I mean, there's just nothing about this movie that works on any level. It's just a pile of crap, really. I mean, do not watch this movie. If you're watching this trailer and you haven't, or this review, I should say, and you haven't seen the movie, don't. It is not worth it. Unless the only thing I can't even like, even if you had like a bunch of buddies over and you were drinking and you were like, oh, this is gonna be fun to watch a terrible movie. It's not going to be. It's just irritating. It's just bad. So those are my thoughts on Son of the Mask. Let me know in the comment section below if you somehow like this movie, because God knows I'd be interested to find out how anybody could. And other than that, have yourself a good day.